Hi, so today I'm going to do a little short video on is Bali safe. So you've probably seen loads of things online like Facebook, Instagram, these Facebook groups of phones going missing, people getting robbed on a scooter, like bikes pulling up and snatching phones and bags. Everything I say in this video is my personal experience in being here and my opinion. So anything I've seen or experienced. So with the Facebook groups, I think there is a lot of negativity in there and people who just comment on things all the time. There's nothing ever really positive in them. That's just my opinion. I have seen in the Facebook groups people have been scammed with villas, but it's just like common sense. People are sending strangers thousands of pounds without seeing anything. So let's get to it. If I think Bali is safe. So being around Bali and speaking to solo travellers, I've found that people find Bali very safe. I haven't personally seen anybody be robbed or any phones being snatched, but what I have seen is people being drunk, driving the scooters, waving the phones around on the back of the bikes and just being a little bit stupid. So I think it's common sense when you're not in your own country to not act up and be drunk and leave your bag. I've seen a lot of girls leave the bags on the side while they go off in the shop and go and get a drink, or when they're in the restaurants they leave the bag and it's wide open with money in a brand new iPhone while they go to the toilet, and it's like, you wouldn't do it at home, you shouldn't really be doing it here. So my experience is really positive with Bali. I haven't seen anybody be robbed. I've heard stories, but I haven't seen anything. What I have seen is people come off the scooters and the local people have helped them. I've seen a lot of people maybe trip in the street with the slippy sandals on, and they always get help off the local people. But what I do see a lot of is people drink driving without an helmet on. Annoying. You can get an app on your phone that's Grab or Go Check, and then you can get a cheap ride home for less than £1. So why would you do that? I personally would never drink and drive. I've seen people do it. I don't like staying out late because it's not you, it's other people. Even though you're safe with the Gojek drivers, you just see so many people coming out of bars and getting on the scooter, which is painful because they don't put an helmet on as well. And them same people end up on the Facebook groups again asking for a GoFundMe page. So I think if you use your common sense, it's a really safe place. The people here are lovely. I feel really safe walking about by myself, going sitting in restaurants. And here they have a thing where if the cafe's really busy, you share a table. And in a lot of the bars, you'll share a table. So last week, the waiter come over and she said, "Do you mind, this lady needs to sit with you, there's nowhere else for her to sit." So I said, "Yeah, it's fine." Moved the stuff up and she sat down, and it was a girl from Germany who'd been travelling for 6 months. She'd volunteered in the turtle sanctuary or something, and I said to her, "Do you feel safe? Have you enjoyed Bali? What's your experience?" And she said it's the only place she's travelled that she's felt safe. And I was like, oh my God, that's coming from a stranger. I was thinking, is it just me? Because sometimes when you go on holiday, you get this vibe of feeling a little bit uneasy. But here, I haven't felt that once, and touch wood, I don't feel it. I have found the people to be very nice and helpful. I just think, not saying it doesn't happen, because obviously it does, it's on, but anything to do with the media always seems to be a little bit more dramatic. I think if you use your common sense, you put your bag like a bum bag on. If you're driving your scooter, you put your stuff underneath. You are always wearing a helmet. I don't get this situation of people not wearing an helmet. and you've got an international driving licence, then you're fine. You should make sure you've got travel insurance. If you are getting on a scooter and you've never drove a scooter, they do scooter lessons here, but you need to make sure your travel insurance will cover you for that, because all I ever see here is people asking for money because they've had a scooter accident, and I think it's a little bit cheeky like for you to just go and get drunk, get on a scooter and be careless and then ask for money for GoFundMe pages. Like, it's avoidable. You can just avoid getting into any situations by just being normal and getting an international driving licence, making sure you've got health insurance. Yeah, just make sure you've got your health insurance, make sure you've got your international driving licence. The police do pull you as well if you've not got an helmet on. You get a fine for not wearing an helmet, and you get a fine if you haven't got an international driving licence. If you've got a KITAS, you can get an international driving licence from Denpasar. I think it's £30, $30, something like that. Anyway, I've got to do mine like this week or next week because my international one's going to run out of date, so I've got to go and get the Bali one, and I've got a KITAS, so that can be done. So I might do another video on that, because obviously I don't really know the process in the police station. You've just got to go to the main police station for it. That's another story. So yeah, it's really safe. A few more stories to tell about. So these two lads was like sat on this table and they were drunk. Just got up, went into like this little shop that was attached to the restaurant. The bag was open with like a wedge of money in it like that. So like we looked at each other, looked back, everyone in the restaurant like looked at the table. There was people coming in to obviously get a table, and there was like just looking at the bag and the phone, like you could see all the money in it. And then they comes out the shop and goes to the bar to get more drinks, and I just thought, who in the world would leave the bag open with money in it like that and a phone? But a lot of people do. And then these are the people that go on the Facebook group saying, oh, my bag got robbed last night. Why are you leaving your bag open with loads of money on the table? You wouldn't do it at home. You shouldn't be doing it in a foreign country. So that's really annoying. You'll probably see a lot of that. Then, you know, there's Facebook groups again. Sadly, I've seen a lot of people being scammed on with fillers. But again, it's common sense. Like, it depends where you're from and what upbringing you've had. But like, some people come here and just to like do yoga and peace and live in this world that, you know, it's calming, and you can't be like that. Like, people are signing for villas that they've not even seen with their own eyes, sending a stranger a deposit of like a good few thousand. Who does that? And then saying when they've turned up, people are like, oh, who are you? And they've just like robbed the pictures offline, advertised the villa and took someone's money. But it's sad that it happens. It is sad, but it's really stupid. Like, it's unavoidable. You know, you'd only give a deposit if you've met the landlord, you've seen the villa, you've signed a contract, you know, and then you've got a dispute with the bank. You just bank transferring someone money, you don't really have a leg to stand on. So it's just stupid stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not saying none of this stuff does go on, because it obviously does. But I think if you come into Bali, it's a beautiful place. The locals will always help you. They have so much patience, like, oh my God. Like in England, there's so much road rage with traffic and people beeping and swearing and, oh, everyone's stressed. Here, when you arrive, you think, oh my God, I can't drive on these roads. But the locals are the best drivers. They've got so much patience, and they know, because they've been on the scooter since they were little. Like, you'll see when you get here, it's just, they're safe. Like, and overnight time when you're going out, just get a Gojek. Like, you couldn't be any safer with one of them, because they are good drivers. So yeah, Bali is a really safe place. Don't drink the water. I don't use the water to brush my teeth. You'll get sick. Use hand sanitizer everywhere. It's like being at home. Everyone's touched the money. The money's disgusting. You know, it's in and out of tills. It's just, again, it's common sense and hygiene that you should already have. Wash your hands. You know, some people love to try all different foods. Just be careful where you're eating. The pharmacies are good here. I use the local pharmacies because they're a lot cheaper than the big tourist pharmacies, but you'll find them. And yeah, anyone's like really here to help. The locals are really, really good. And I think that's everything on safety. Just use your common sense. Like, make sure you've got travel insurance. Make sure you've got an international driving licence. If you can't ride a scooter, get a scooter lesson in this country, because this is the road you're going to be driving on. And then just have a really good time. And then driving on your scooter, again, common sense. Instead of having your backpack on your back, just put it under your seat. Sat nav, put one earphone in, don't wear two because you can't hear what's going on behind you. And sometimes the police patrols come super fast that are like guiding a car, and there's about like 6 of them and you've got to move. So if you've got earphones in, which you see again, people without helmets with their earphones on, and you're just like, what's that about? You can't hear what's going on behind you. So yeah, just common sense and just enjoy it. It's a really safe place, and in some restaurants you get sat with people. It just is the way it is here. You've just got to get sat with people, and every person we've sat with that's been a solo traveller, I've said, do you feel safe? Do you like it? And they've all gone, this is the safest place I've travelled, where I feel safe to walk about by myself, to get like a bike by myself, and to go like in cafes, restaurants and just walk like. So, and that's coming from strangers just sat down. So yeah, it is, honestly, it's a really safe place. But if you have no common sense and you just live in a bubble and send people money on Facebook, or you're too drunk that you're leaving your bag open with loads of money on it on the side, then you're going to get robbed. But you'd get robbed anywhere. Like, it doesn't have to be Bali. You'd get robbed in your own country. So yeah, just comment below if you have any questions, if you'd like me to do a video on anything else, and press like if you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.